Hello everybody, I'm Chris Williams. It's Monday the 6th of September 2010, a rather wet day here in Cardiff, the capital of Wales. Right, welcome to my video blog. After the break, I'll be telling you about my new hobby. So yes, people say to me that to make new friends with people, I should develop new hobbies. Well, let me tell you about what my new hobby is. And first of all, I must apologise to you if you were reading a copy of the Guardian newspaper here in the United Kingdom today, and you found that the central pages were missing, because my new hobby is stealing. Yes, stealing, not in the illegal sense. Hey, I obtained pages 17 through to 20 of the Times, not the Times, the Guardian, in our library, and here's what I got: a rather interesting pull-out supplement to do with the Blitz, the heavy bombardment on London during the Second World War. Rather interesting statistics, actually, but it turns out that it's the 70th anniversary on the 7th of September. The day after I record this blog, and did you know that the fire brigade, they were obviously called out many times during the first night at the Blitz, but they had their most calls. Let's check this out. The majority of their calls were at 6 o'clock, were between 6 and 7 p.m. on Sunday the 7th of not Sunday, on the 7th of September 1940, 308 calls were made to the fire brigade between 6 and 7 p.m. on that day. And that's and then it dropped down to 54 between 7 and 8, and then 85, 8 to 9, 63, 9 to 10, 40, 10 to 11, and then between 11 and midnight there were 85 calls. And of course, during the daytime, as you'd expect, very, very few call-outs for the fire brigade. And this map I've got here in the newspaper, very interesting, because you've got the famous parts of London, like Buckingham Palace and House of Parliament and so on. But this map implies that the majority of bombs that were dropped on that first night of the Blitz failed to hit their targets. They landed largely in the residential areas in the south of the Thames, like places like Southwark, Lewisham, Lambeth, Battersea, and they got the brunt of the bomb, and so did many properties in Tower Hamlets and what is now Canary Wharf. But Kensington, Chelsea, Westminster, Regent's Park, King's Cross area, no bombs at all. It was as if the Luftwaffe were completely incompetent, and there must have been a very strong wind or something. It's kind of, let's pick up Downing Street, bombs away, oh dear, bomb has landed in Lewisham, that sort of thing. Completely useless. Of course, as you know, if you're a connoisseur of knowledge on the Second World War, it says on the bomb here that Bristol, Coventry, Birmingham, and Swansea and Plymouth and Portsmouth were to be subjected to similar bombing raids between the 7th of September 1940 and then the 16th of May 1941, when the Luftwaffe were reassigned to the invasion of Russia. And of course, as you know, it all went wrong for the Nazis in Russia because the Soviets forced them back during the cold months, and that then led to the subsequent downfall of the German advancement in the east. And of course, the Allies moved in a bit later on from the west, and the Nazis were surrounded, and they lost the war. But it's times like this that no, it's good to remember the Second World War, because I wasn't around for it, and I assume that the majority of you were not around for it, but good statistical information here about the number of bombs dropped, and this map is very interesting and quite a surprise to me, because you automatically you assume, of course, that the public are not the target of the enemy, but I suppose this is always the case with wars. It's always the public who suffer when there is aerial bombardment. Right, so we got the centre at the Guardian that we obtained today, and if you saw my previous video blog, you know that I went to Brighton a few days ago before I recorded this video blog, and you might know that Brighton has a beach made of pebbles, and of course I can't very well bring the beach home with me, or can I? Well, what we got here, we've got 1 pebble, 2 pebbles, 3 pebbles, 4 pebbles. So yes, you could sarcastically say that I have stole part of Brighton Beach, but there's millions of more pebbles to go around. No, if millions of people went to Brighton and stole 4 pebbles, you'll still have a bit of a beach. So I think it's excusable. No big crime stealing a bit of the beach. But I'm quite fascinated that Brighton was the first beach I went to that was made up of pebbles rather than sand, and that's quite fascinating to me. These pebbles, they're all different shapes, different colours, and of course, as someone who's into astronomy, of course, Mars, of course, there's an interest in service which geologists like to analyse. I feel like a bit of a geologist, wondering to myself, why are the pebbles on Brighton Beach all different colours and different sizes? I've been spending some time on Wikipedia in the last few hours, trying to satisfy myself as to what's with these pebbles. Very fascinating. I assume, of course, if I were to... Now, I'm not going to bash these pebbles together, but I assume if I were to do that, then I'd end up with the traditional sand that I'd expect to see on a beach. Yes. I'm not normally into geology. I think that's one of the most boring sciences, but it's times like this when you've got science in your hands that you then become fascinated. And same is true with Second World War. I think the Second World War, when I hear about the Second World War on TV, I think, that's a bit boring. But as a kind of fanatic of statistics, this war data in front of me has captivated my imagination, and I must say I'm glad that I wasn't around during the war, because it must have become rather tedious for people having bombs dropped on them all the time, completely at random. They must be thinking, when is the bombing going to stop? And of course, as it says on the bottom of the newspaper I've got here, thousands of people killed, hundreds killed in each of the individual bomb attacks, but thousands displaced and injured in the long-term series of bombings. So thank goodness that we haven't had a Third World War in the time between the end of the Second World War and now, and let's hope that there will be no future worldwide wars. There will be small wars in places like Iraq and Afghanistan, and places where the governments are not of the same philosophical beliefs as Western democracies. But I think, largely due to the United Nations, I think World War is now behind us. Okay, if you go to musingsofchriswilliams.blogspot.com, my written blog, you will see there my opinions for today on the proposed boundary changes put forward for the elections here in the United Kingdom. Interesting that Pembrokeshire, where I come from, normally has two constituencies, but they're proposing it be merged into one constituency. That would be quite interesting politically. And you'll also see a rather strange email that I received earlier on from a man who says in the email that it should not be taken as a joke, but I take it as a joke, so I'll show it to you for you to laugh at. So do visit musingsofchriswilliams.blogspot.com. The address is on the screen, so do pop along to that for your amusement, and you'll find on that blog the full back catalogue of videos I've posted here on YouTube. I think it's incomplete in some areas, so best to have both websites on at the same time so you can access as many of my videos as you wish to. Okay, thanks for your time. I blog on a daily basis. I think today's blog was a bit boring compared to normal, but apologies for that. Alright, do contact me if you have any topics you'd like me to discuss. I will post at the end of the video methods through which you can contact me. Okay, thanks for your time, and do join me next time around. And so, bye for now. Bye bye.